You've completed your care plan. You're out of the store. And this is where a lot of people would say, this is where chiropractors are ridiculous because I'm not going to go to them because they're going to ask me to stay for life, right? They're going to trap me into constant care. It's like, well, I wouldn't use the word trap, but yeah, I'm going to ask you to stay.
Welcome to Motherhood, Aligned and Assigned, where we help guide mothers from symptoms to solutions.
We're Dr. Serena Kaufman and Dr. Veronica Schultz, nervous system specialists helping families discover the missing link in their wellness journey.
Join us as we translate complex health challenges into simple, actionable solutions for you and your children.
Because your family deserves to thrive,
not just survive.
So, I have had a family come in, a family of 6 come in. Well, they started as 5, and then they had the baby while they were in my care. And they all had, like, mom pregnant. That's a big goal, right? Like, birth and pregnancy and postpartum going well. Dad in fight or flight. Kids, a lot of hyperactivity and behavior stuff. One of her daughters struggling with evacuating her bowels at the appropriate time. Right? And lots of stuff in between. So this family, I think they all started care at the same time. All had big goals. We got to the end of their care plans. They all kind of trickled out of care because they all had unique care plans to them. And now they've been under wellness care for about 6 months. And when we finished their initial phase of care, that care plan, looking at their scans and hearing how well each of them were doing, we're like, this is fantastic. And they were excited to roll into wellness. But I got to look at their scans 6 months later as we've continued into wellness, and I was wowed. They are thriving. And they don't even know, I don't even know, that's just normal, right? Like, everyone should be doing well. So like, this is great. Like, we finished our care plan doing well, and they've continued to, like, behaviors going really well. Bowel movements are going really well. Sleep is great. They're not, I think they've gotten sick a couple times as a family of 6 in the last 6 months through the winter and spring. But their scans were amazing. Like, I didn't know how great scans could look. Because this family, I think the genetics are just high capacity, right? So we have this graph. I'll just tell Dr. Veronica this, and everyone else just maybe we'll go over your head, whatever. So the HRV graph, it has this this rainbow color of red, which is like, oh, we don't want you to be in the red zone. And think of a bullseye, but that's drifts towards the top of this graph. Mm-hmm. And this kiddo's HRV, so dad, he super high energy, takes from his dad. His dad's way over in fight or flight. And he was getting there. He started kind of in the green, which is good. But now his HRV is the highest it can go in the center, middle of the graph at the top.
Wow.
Literally best HRV I've ever seen in my life. And he is the highest energy kiddo. If he did public school, he would just be bouncing off the walls. But he's just so smart and intelligent and has so much energy and capacity. And now we get to see that honed in and not destructiveness or behavior issues, but just straight, I don't know what he's going to do really cool things. Yeah. And the whole family, everyone's nervous systems are just on paper, objectively, are just looking amazing. And for me to have this example of going from really struggling, needing care plans, to now 6 months into wellness, and they're all just thriving. And it's just they spend 30 minutes in my office once a week, right? Mm-hmm. A 30-minute investment in your time, which most people, the investment issue is their time. Mm-hmm. So that they all can have a solid foundation where everything else builds and they can just be thriving. Mm-hmm. So cool to see. My family's doing that, but I don't know. It just looks different when you have this whole family start to finish. Well, start to infinity, whatever. Mini case study.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because I feel like we're going to go into this later, but think about the time that you usually have to spend doing everything else to benefit your health, right? Like the working out and the eating and the meal prep and the going to the store and like all that stuff. Everything else takes so much more time. But if you could get something that's going to put your entire family into its most optimal state in 30 minutes a week, like that return of investment is crazy.
Yeah.
If you thought about that for any other thing, period. I mean, I own 3 businesses, right? So like I think about ROI a lot, but like if I could do anything for 30 minutes and get exactly what I want and more, it is so worth it. And so it just like, yeah. And to know that that is that direct, like this 30 minutes is not only going to impact focus and sleep and you know like I mean like not only is it just 30 minutes but it's also 30 minutes to enhance every system in your body, your nerve system, right? Who controls everything else. So just crazy to think about.
Because here's the thing, like, emotional, physical, chemical stress is what got them into my office, right? Like too much emotional stress, too much physical stress for the boys, and like everything in between of the chemical stressors that are just we can't even control. This is a crunchy family, okay? They're doing all the things.
Right.
After the care plan, those stressors don't stop happening, right? So you're to have like you might not have this big storm of a birth trauma happen again, right? But you're still going to have this trickling in of too many stressors that we were designed to adapt to. And so to have a modality that is quite frankly the most efficient modality there is that I can think of, the most efficient and effective. So efficacy high for removing interference from your nervous system that came from living your life so that you can be more adaptable as you go into your next week of like those stressors aren't going to hit you as hard. They're not going to stick into your system. And you just have like the best capacity to tackle all the things.
Right.
It's like, that's the coolest thing to me.
It really is. Yeah. And I think it goes to show how important, I always like talk to my patients about how like you go through care plans. So we hit on care plans a lot because that's where a lot of the big shifts happen. But I mean, we say that, but then like, it's really cool. I have a family where, you know, we did a care plan and we released to wellness. I kind of was like, shit. I kind of wanted to extend 12 more visits, and the family was like, he's fine. He's so much better than he was, so, like, it's fine. He kind of struggled there for a little bit on wellness. We were, like, going back and forth, and then he just, like, had this huge shift, and now they come in, and she, like, she's so sold on wellness, because his biggest shift happened in wellness, that she's like, I have to come every single week, but, like, we think about it, but, like, there's so much more that can happen just based on like neuroplasticity and like the science of the brain while maintaining, I shouldn't even say maintaining, but like while holding your most optimal neurological pathway, right? The brain is not just going to be like, oh, wow, I love this, so I'm just going to hang here, right? On wellness, you will see that as we're in this optimal pathway, your brain's like, whoa, I feel expansive. I actually can build more, even better pathways. Since I've been holding on to this for so long, I've found so much efficiency in staying regulated.
It's the consistency.
Exactly. I like now that the brain is like, okay, I've done this. This isn't my new baseline. Like excellence is my new baseline. How much more can I build on top of that?
Yeah.
And so that really has, I mean, obviously it's like great. I love what I do as a chiropractor, but it really doesn't have much to do with us other than like that consistency of staying in care. And your brain's just going to like explode with a whole other part of healing and wellness that you didn't even conceptualize before because that would have been way too much for you before. Does that make sense? Like, that was a lot of words.
I've had a lot of people find their breakthroughs 3-6 months into wellness because it's like, one, they're older. These usually aren't kids that are finding the breakthroughs in wellness, usually for me.
Right. Yeah.
It's the adults, like menopause, and I've had anxiety for 10 years. Like like I haven't slept well in 20 years. Like we have people who like start sleeping excellent 12 visits into care, right? But if it's an adult, neuroplastic is like less neuroplasticity. I was just talking to my care advocates today and realizing that I'm building so many care plans for adults with a child's neuroplasticity in mind. Like, I really got to start extending the length of my care plans and expectations for adults because we're just not as neuroplastic. We're not as adaptable. We're so stuck. Just like physiologically. I don't know. That's not fair to say.
I know. I was going to say, I don't know that I would say it's not as neuroplastic, but we have, with consistency, right? We have built a bigger, stronger bridge to the life that we've been living. And that life is what got us into the office, right? So it's not that, I would say that we're still very neuroplastic always, but think about like a child.
Well, compared to kids who are still, their brain is still developing.
Are still developing.
And creating
so
new
we are more
pathways.
solid in our pathways. It takes a lot more to kind of like that, can't teach an old dog new tricks. Like you can, but it's because the reason we say that is because we are so efficient as a species that the longer we stay in that pathway, the harder it is to break. That's simply. And so, yeah, I think that I was thinking about that too, because honestly, a lot of the adults, I see a lot of anxiety and depression, right? So as soon as I hear that, it's like 60 visits, but I'm starting to see that actually usually the breakthrough happens around 60 visits and I still need 12 to 24 more visits after that.
Yeah, to really tie a bow on it.
That, and then head into either supportive or wellness. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, but think about it. These people often are coming in who have had anxiety for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And I'm saying that we can still get you in a really great spot in 6 months. We just really need like 8 or 9 months to get you into like a great spot. Like to think about that in the grand scheme of things is crazy. But this whole conversation is about like wellness. And so after that, whether it's 6, 9, 8, sometimes even 12 months, right? A whole year. Get another year of wellness, and then all of a sudden you're having this secondary breakthrough because your brain has maintained that pathway, and now it's like, oh, cool, what else that was easy. What else can we do in terms of healing and cleanup and repair and restoration?
Yeah, I've had people, one of my patients, kind of going through the whole menopause transition, hasn't slept well since she started that transition, which probably means she wasn't sleeping well. Like, there's other stuff going on before that. If menopause isn't graceful, which I am going to, someday be dying on a hill that menopause can be a graceful transition once I, gather enough information. But she, a year into wellness, for the last 2 months in a row, which is big, has slept amazing. And she's like, I feel like myself. Right? She's like, she stopped tweaking HRT. She stopped chasing keto, all these things. She's just like, Jesus, take the wheel in a sense. And that has been so consistent and amazing in getting in every week. And we also just recently rescanned her, and it was like another leap in her scans of this big breakthrough. And another patient finished her care plan. Her main goal in her care plan was to feel strong again. And she's like, I don't care about, I'm done trying to lose weight. I'm never going to lose weight again. This is just who I am. But I want to feel strong in my body. A year into care, she was like, I'm down 20 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But she felt strong.
Yeah.
And then she could use her body the way she wanted to use it.
Right.
And now she's active all the time. She's taking her dog. She has a puppy.
She has the extra energy.
She has the extra capacity to she's doing push-ups. One of her goals was to, at the time of her care plan, was to be able to paint all the baseboards, the new baseboards in her house. But she's like, I have to get on the ground and on my hands and knees and clean the baseboards, and I have to get up and down. And it's just a lot. Finish the baseboards during her care plan.
Wow.
But since then, it's just she's like, I feel incredible. I can do whatever I need to do with my body. And then once also she was off the gas pedal and not in fight or flight, and her metabolism could operate not in a protective mode, she's losing weight. Anyways.
Yeah.
Wellness is pretty.
Well, I think it's why it's so important, to kind of go to your beginning statement of, the person who's asking if this is a lifelong journey likely is not ready for this kind of chiropractic care because it takes a certain type of person to understand that their health and their wellness is worth the lifelong investment, no matter what it is, right? You're not going to be like, go to the dentist and be like, do I really have to brush my teeth every day for the rest of my life? Like, no, you'll just know if you want good teeth, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this conversation is for the one who may find it a little bit daunting to be like, do I have to? I hope this gives you a reframe of like, this is not about even like chiropractic as a whole. This is not about like the benefit of chiropractic is what I'm trying to say. Like this is the benefit of you and the longevity and the prevention, right? There's like so much that can happen when you have, or that doesn't happen when you have a nervous system that isn't holding on to and accumulating all the stress in your entire life, right? So it's yes, there's so many improvements, but then there's also this like avoidance of all these things. I think about the preteens that I have in my office and a lot of the dysfunction they're having. I have like toe walkers and I have, constipation and I have all this stuff, but I also think about like these kids under wellness could potentially, I said this to another patient the other day, I was like, hopefully this is okay to say, but like I'm starting to see it as like this could be a potential avoidance of endometriosis, of infertility, right? Like it's like we're also taking care of their hormonal health and making sure that their brain and their reproductive system are constantly in communication. And so yeah, they might not be having any of those issues right now, but that's where my brain goes of like, okay, this is a very heavy gut area, but this is also a very hormonal area, right? So like think about all the things you're also preventing and all the heartache you're avoiding by maintaining that level of just like optimum communication to brain, to body, and back again. I just think there's just so many benefits that I'm like, it seems to outweigh this like, oh, but I have to come all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I was reading this argument on Instagram where a chiropractor was saying, yeah, I want the best for you, and the best from what we can tell is once a week, right? Like with the amount of stress we have in our lives right now. And I'm noticing this now in my practice too. Now that I have like 2 years of clinical data, my folks who come every other week, I feel like I'm playing catch up all the time. Like they're doing okay, but they come in and like, doc, my neck. Doc.
Right. They're like,
my back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my doc just put me on blood pressure medication. By people who are coming in weekly, maybe they're a different demographic. Yeah, they're not. But they don't come in with pain. Step one, we're not a pain-based practice. They're also just well. Like they're just doing really well, right? They don't have the headaches between appointments. They don't have digestive stuff between appointments. Like my every other week people, they're hanging in there. And I actually have had a few people transition from, like we did scans and I was like, look, if I was looking at these scans fresh, one, we'd probably be in our care plan. Because there's just been so much emotional, physical, chemical stuff going on that every other week it's just falling behind. But a couple of them had transitioned to weekly wellness and their comments have been like, I have never felt better. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't have any pain in between my adjustments. Like, one of these guys, he's in his 60s. He's like, this is amazing. Like, there's, like, my doctor's like, oh, what are you doing different? He's like, oh, I'm seeing my chiropractor. He's like, oh, the doctor, he's like, my doctor said, oh, this is kind of funny. I haven't told anyone. He's like, my doctor said, oh, careful about her adjusting your neck. He's like, no. She's like, Jesus, man. She said, you touch me.
That's amazing.
I was like, I don't know if I accept that compliment. Lord, forgive me. But also, yeah. Adjustments are very safe and effective and gentle.
Yes.
And he feels like, he's just like, he can't even explain it. He's just like, I'm sleeping great. My energy's great. He's like, I feel amazing. This is the best I felt in years. And we simply just went from every other week to playing catch up to weekly, and we're staying on top of the stress.
Yeah. Yeah. My mind was blown because I used to say like, yes, weekly is fine, but care plans is where the magic happens. And I actually had a family that started, it was around, I think this fall last year, we had a few families who were like, I just want to start off on weekly. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way to go, but like, I was like, I have no idea how much results you can get. She still has some things that I know would be cleared up with a care plan, but she is like, I have literally never felt better. And she just comes in once a week, right? So it's like, there's like levels. I always tell lately these days, I've been telling new patients, I'm like, you can pick your journey because you really can't pick wrong. It's just about how deep and how far you want to go in your journey and how well you want to feel. Like where do you want to be capped in your healing journey? And that's kind of where we'll start. Obviously the people who are like, I want to get this figured out and get to the root, pick care plans. But the people who are like, I just want to start feeling better, sometimes we'll just pick our weekly, right? And massive shifts can happen here. So it's like, there's no wrong way. It's just about how far and how deep you want to go and how much expansion you want to experience in this lifetime. Yeah. So
dang, how much expansion you want to experience in this lifetime. Wow. Cool. I feel like I don't know a difference anymore. Like I don't remember my life pre-chiropractic. Right. Just kidding. It's only been like 6 years.
I was gonna say it's been quite a while.
But actually I do. I was on the track. I was on a really scary path to like probably infertility and autoimmune stuff. It was kind of like, looking back, it was scary, the path I was on. And pretty obvious looking back of what direction my health was going. But now, when I tell my patients, because they're like, well, who adjusts you? It's like, weekly, my frame. Like, I'm not a hypocrite. And also sometimes more than once a week because, listen here, folks, I'm doing a lot. I have 2 little ones, almost 5 and 2. That's a lot of energy and like discipline and mothering to keep up with, right?
Intention.
Yeah, intention, schedules. Forget schedules. I'm not a schedule person. So it's like, how do we do this? And I bought a practice 2 years ago. And basically, I'm going to just say it because I told the chiropractor this. He's like, no, you did that. Like, restarted it from the ground up. Yeah. And people who walk into my office are doing what I'm doing, and they're depleted, right? They're sick because they're doing so much. Like, that's a lot of emotional stress, right? Mothering 2 children and owning a business. And it's like, I don't just own a business. I care for over 100 people deeply. Like, I think about them at night. And when I'm driving in the car and when they're sitting in the waiting room.
Highly invested. Yes.
Right. And then, and trying to like develop my clinical skills and my business skills and my leadership skills and my mothering skills and my wife stuff. Right. It's like wifing isn't a skill, but
well,
I don't know.
You gotta be you gotta switch to that gas pedal as a wife, I feel like, after maintaining all of that and then having some sort of libido and connection with your husband.
I have to switch to the brake pedal.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. I'm so sorry.
You switched on the gas. What's wrong?
I meant brake.
Okay.
Rewind. I meant brake this whole time. Yeah. I've been doing that lately. I don't know why.
What you need, Veronica?
Mine's broken.
Anyways.
I meant brake.
Yeah. I think I was talking to you about this. But in that entire time, I've been getting scanned. I've been getting chiropractic care. And my HRV, which tells us about my adaptability to stress, has stayed in the green. People hear what I'm doing. They're like, how are you doing all of that? It's like, Jesus and chiropractic, literally. And sometimes I cry. Okay. Like sometimes sometimes it's too much. And I'm not doing well, right? 2024. But
sometimes I cry.
I believe that keeping the stress off of my nervous system has kept me so adaptable and has created a really high capacity for myself. That I couldn't, if I go 2 weeks, I'm like, oh my gosh. Do I have anxiety?
That's true. Well, and I think it's also like this specific kind of chiropractic because I was under care for the first year that I was opening. And then I did take a break to find a more aligned doctor. And I literally fell apart. Like my headaches came back. My skin started breaking out. I have psoriasis. So like my skin was breaking out in psoriasis patches, not just acne. It was like I have full body psoriasis. So like that started getting worse. So, like just stress. I was like so agitated and irritated all the time. Like it's crazy because you think I've also been under care for 5-6 years. And I took a month or 2 to figure out what other doctor I needed. And then my entire body just like collapsed.
Oh, it was like 6 months. Wasn't it?
Taking a break?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. You just thought about taking a break for a long time. Got it.
Yeah, anyway. She was great. It's just like the tracking, like when I walked into this PX doc's office, she lives 30 minutes from me, by the way, so I'm driving an hour round trip to go get seen
you
3
walk
times a
because
week.
you care about your nervous system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just needed to find a doctor who I felt like could take care of me. So we also have that, like, okay, who's going to take care of me the way that I take care of others, right? And so my scans looked trash garbage, but I can already tell after just 12 visits that I'm doing so much better. And I'm honestly doing better than when I was before I walked into her office, right?
Nice.
Or like before under different care, just because of the intention that goes in behind the tracking, there's so much that goes into this kind of chiropractic care. And I'm like, I'm going to see her for life, It'll be nice when I'm only going once a week, driving an hour there and back. But like, this is just part of it. This is what we're here to do, and I can't wait to see what happens a year from now when I'm under wellness. So we practice what we preach, and we truly believe that like we would never ask you to do something that we ourselves wouldn't do, and yeah, that's what wellness is all about.
Yeah, I wanted to elaborate on when I go more than a week without an adjustment. It's like, yeah, there are aches and pains, but whatever, like. My body, my brain can adapt to obnoxious, like, physical information, like, whatever. What I notice is my brain gets scattered and noisy, and there's a lot less clarity in my physical. Like, my fuse shortens, right, because I have such a high load right now in this season of life. It stacks up fast for me,
right.
Like, I have a patient that takes care of bunnies that are rescued from the bench here in Boise. And, like stress, low. So when, like, me trying to convince her for wellness, she's like, girl, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right. She lost her mom, and she came in, and she's like, I'm not fine. Like, her scans looked completely different than when she had a really low stress life.
Because she's just activated a whole new pathway.
Right. And so, So I also understand people who are like just chilling, have super low stress. Like, maybe you don't feel the massive difference between once a week and every other, or nothing at all.
Right.
But I bet you do. I'm just gonna call it. I bet your capacity is so insanely awesome that you haven't even reached it yet. You're like, oh, this is where everyone else is at. It's fine. It's like, no, you got more. Yeah.
There's a whole other
you have a whole another level to unlock. You don't even know it.
Well, with that, I think that's a good ending spot.
Yeah.
Should I pray?
Yeah.
Okay, dear Lord, thank you for just the power of chiropractic and consistency, and just the insights that you have given us to just really get to know your creation, get to know the brain, and how cool it can be to partner with your creation to take things to the next level. We thank you for this wisdom and knowledge you've bestowed on us, and we just pray that whoever is listening to this really felt just encouraged and empowered by their journey toward choosing chiropractic care for not just the big stuff, but for the longevity and just like optimal healing in their life and in their kids' lives. We love you, we honor you, pray you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining us on Motherhood, Aligned and Assigned.
We hope today's episode helped you connect the dots in your family's health journey.
Remember, this is where nervous system health meets motherhood wisdom.
Until next time, we're Dr. Veronica Schultz
and Dr. Serena Kaufman, supporting you as you nurture your family's well-being.
Because when you're aligned, everyone thrives.